In this video, we will talk about how electricity is obtained from wind, the history of wind energy, and its advantages and disadvantages. The use of wind by man has been carried out since 5000 BC when the Egyptians moved boats on the Nilo River using the force of the winds. In 200 BC, the wind was already used for pumping water and crushing grains through the movement of mills in different places, such as China and Persia. The first wind generators were created in England and the United States, in the 1880s, allowing electricity to reach rural areas in these countries. With the oil crisis and the increase in fuel prices in the 1970s, wind energy returned to be studied, and countries in Europe and the United States began to establish policies favorable to renewable energies. The first wind farm in Europe was opened in Greece, in 1980 and, in 1991, the first offshore wind farm, which generates energy at sea, was opened in Denmark. From the year 2000 onwards, the use of wind energy was expanded in different countries and, in the 2010s, there was an increase worldwide. Wind energy is a renewable energy source, as wind is an inexhaustible resource. The potential for exploiting wind energy is great, but the generation of the energy depends on the constancy of the winds. But how does it work? Electricity can be obtained from the kinetic energy created by the moving air. Large turbines, wind turbines, in the shape of a weather vane, are placed in open areas with a good amount of wind. Wind turbines have two main parts: the rotor, or weather vane, which is the structure that will capture and transform the wind into mechanical energy, and the generator, which will convert mechanical energy into electrical energy. First, wind hits the turbine's blades. At that moment, the energy is kinetic and is associated with the movement of the wind. The blades will rotate and the turbine, that is connected to them, will turn. The kinetic energy will change to rotational energy and a shaft, which is connected to a generator, will move. Mechanical energy is produced. The energy is transferred to the generator and converted into electrical energy. The electrical energy produced goes to the medium voltage grid of the wind farm and is sent to a collector substation. The energy produced flows through extensive transmission lines, through a power transformer, being directed to cities. There are three main types of wind turbine systems for wind energy production. The first type is the isolated systems that are primarily used to supply small towns. The second type is the system interconnected with a greater number of wind turbines, for the generation of a greater volume of energy, supplying a greater number of consumers. And the third type is the hybrid systems that have two or more energy sources. As an example, we can mention plants composed of wind turbines and photovoltaic panels, producing wind and solar energy in the same unit and which are used for a greater number of users. The use of wind energy has increased in recent years, but what are the advantages of this system? And what are the disadvantages? The main advantages of wind energy are: its source is an inexhaustible resource and, therefore, it is renewable energy. It is clean energy because it does not emit pollutants into the atmosphere in the energy generation process. Allows the reduction of greenhouse gas emissions. Provides the reduction of dependence on fossil fuels. Generates jobs in regions where wind farms are installed. The possibility of using plants with more than one energy source. Wind turbines and solar panels could be in the same space. The main disadvantages of wind energy are: equipment has a significant cost. The wind is very erratic, so power generation can often be unpredictable. It is necessary to create a large wind farm to accommodate the wind turbines. Wind turbines can affect the migratory movement of birds and cause the death of these species. A great visual and sound impact is generated for those who live in the surroundings. The high noise produced by the movement of wind turbines causes noise pollution. The installation of wind turbines generates changes in the landscape and visual pollution. If you liked the video, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe.